All right, so in this flow, we're going to go through exactly how you troubleshoot a flow when a flow starts. Like, not necessarily when a flow starts doing a certain thing, but basically when you need to troubleshoot a flow or it's underperforming or you think it's underperforming, the things you need to look at to point towards the fact that it's performing well or not, right? So recently for this brand, we just set up a new welcome flow um that has to perform to the level of the former welcome flow. Um, so I'm sort of like looking through it. I'm going to be thinking aloud as I go through this process. I realize that it's it's something that I already know from experience, and I just implement without sort of like thinking too much. And I noticed that some of my team members even don't intuitively know some things that I do here, right? So this is the new welcome flow. This is the old one. So we're gradually phasing out the old one. The reason why I don't agree with creating new emails in the old flow is because of the data of the old flow, right? We want to be able to preserve the data of the old flow and know how far it performed by itself, and then compare that with the new flow that's coming in, right? So even after this entire flow goes to draft mode, we'll still have access to the data and can still pull it out and look at the data that works with it, so to speak. Yeah. Um. So yes, right now we're looking at the new welcome flow. So we want to sort of like look at certain things that might point to the fact that it's underperforming, or so to speak. As for the open rate and click rates and placed order rate, you can see it's fairly close to the former welcome email flow. That's for email number one. So we are rest assured that the first email is working as it should. But we can't stop there either. So there's one thing I noticed though. In the first email, we're getting a lot of skipped, right? Getting a few skipped profiles is okay, but when you're getting it as up to 1,000, it's now an issue that needs looking into. So this is a sign of profiles that have been skipped. We're going to look into them. Then when we do, that's where we'll find why. So you come here, view details. Let's go to load up supplies. Then it's going to load up. And then when it is already loaded up, this is where you go to find details about that specific email that may point to the fact that it is. So you go to the recipient activity. You want to find reasons why profiles are being skipped. So we're going to go to skipped. It's going to load. And then here you find different reasons why certain profiles get skipped. Some were skipped for invalid email addresses. Then most of them, you look at the most reason why. So profiles will eventually be skipped one way or the other. Out of suspicious email, or somebody unsubscribed, they were suppressed, or out of their email addresses were invalid, things like that, right? So you want to go to the reason of that is obviously an abnormally. Like, what do you mean by skipped over email limits? So you can see it's skipping about almost almost 2,000 profiles, and this is because they are over email limit. What this basically means is um yeah, that's what it means literally, that we're over email limits, and the subscription we're currently that this brand is currently at is no longer enough. And that makes sense because we're growing their profiles by almost 250,000 right now, so that's a lot. So we just have to sort of like grow, improve the, like, increase their current billing status, and that's what I'm going to do now, but I'm not going to show that part. All right, so continue from there where they fixed the billing issue. I'm going to go back to the flow. Done. All right, so email number one is looking great. So from the skipping part, The follow-up on email number one is looking great also. The subject is looking great. Right, so we recently just turned this live. So that's why it hasn't actually gotten a lot of subscribers in. Yeah. Yeah. All right, so that's pretty much how to troubleshoot a flow quickly. You basically just look at the open rate, you look at the click rate, you look at the place order rate. You should also have a baseline of how what level it should be at. For like your welcome flow, your open rate should be at least 45% because they are the highest intent with your brand at that point. Anything less than 45% for your first email, your welcome flow is a problem that needs troubleshooting ASAP. Right, so you can see we're at 53.6%, a click rate of 21%, and a place order rate of almost 10, right, for the first email. And then yeah, it goes on and on like that. For this particular email, discuss this is a follow-up to email number one, specifically to non-openers, right? People that signed up and did not open, right? So I like to really make sure that people that sign up to the welcome flow are people that have tendency that people are sort of like not bots, right? So I send a lot of emails to these people, right? And at the end of the flow, I also sort of like filter them out specifically. If I find certain people that still after this powerful flow as an open, I like to segment them out and build this particular segment for them. They tend to be problematic, so to speak. Right. So yeah, so like as I was saying, the open rates, the click rates, the place order rate, those are the things you look at. When troubleshooting a flow, you want to also look at the waiting and the review and the delivered and the skip. It's skipped most importantly. If you're having profiles that are skipped, have been skipped over 1,000 profiles, there is a problem you need to look into. So that's pretty much it for this short video on how to troubleshoot your flows and your emails. I hope this helps someone out there. Peace.